So,
Okay.
we're going to get started, but I have to tell you, big fan, huge fan. In fact, so much of a fan, for my 20th wedding anniversary, we ate at your restaurant.
No way.
Absolutely.
Wait, you didn't say anything.
We
Was
just-
I there?
I don't think you were there. It was like a weeknight. It wasn't. We did it on the actual anniversary day because we had done a lot of other stuff. We didn't travel, and you normally big anniversary we want to go somewhere.
Sure.
But we had just had a big party for my mom, so we didn't do that. But we were like, all right, we got a reservation. We're going. And we had a blast. It was outstanding.
Good.
Outstanding.
Man, I wish I would have known. Next
It
time,
was-
you
it
can't come to
was a-
somebody's house and not let them know that you're there.
Well, we just wanted to.
It's just rude.
We eat over at Roots whenever
Shack.
we can, but then we go to Red Sticks as well.
Very nice.
So
okay.
and both of you guys were judges when we were in the Big Tex Choice Awards, so we were excited
That's right.
about that.
I mean, she's one of my good friends.
I figured as much. Yeah, y'all look like y'all were having a good time at the
Every
Big
time
Tex
we get
Choice
together.
Awards.
Every time.
Very cool.
Well, thank you for coming.
What we do.
Did I see you at HEB in Plano last week?
Yep.
I thought I did, but it was so far. I'm sorry. We're going to start this. I'm sorry.
No,
you
you're
good.
good.
Yeah,
You're
no.
But
it's
I
good.
was far away, and I was like, should I scream it out?
You
And
should.
I said, probably not, Tim.
You should.
No.
Oh, no,
It would have
listen.
been great.
You should. You always should.
You were heading out, though, so
We might have. So we were probably both there.
Yes.
I didn't see you.
We're sampling at HEB
We're sampling
Okay.
because we got our
now.
rub
Yeah,
in.
the
now.
rub is in there. So
Got it. Yes, I've seen it. Yes.
we're pushing it.
I actually. I understand.
Hey, grocery
I
store
understand.
stuff. That's the way
That's
to
a
go.
whole new world.
Yeah. I got the chef seasoning in there too.
Go,
so,
girl. Yeah. It's serious. Okay, see, look, that's off the camera stuff.
I know, right?
I'm Brett Reeves.
And I'm Juan Reeves.
We're second-generation restaurant owners carrying on our father's legacy.
We've been on a number of TV shows from Good Morning America to Guy's Grocery Games.
And now we're starting our own podcast.
Some people say that he's a handsome guy, even so much so he's pretty.
This dude is definitely funny.
Together, that makes us pretty funny.
All right, y'all. Okay, listen. I don't even know what episode this is, but this is the Pretty Funny Podcast. I'm Brett Reeves.
I'm Juan Reeves.
Are you still Juan Reeves?
I still am Juan Reeves.
But listen,
Well, when I'm not Juan Reeves, I am known as Brent's brother.
that's some garbage. Anyway, listen, we've got a guest today that it's near and dear to my heart.
Oh man,
I mean, the girl bad.
she's cold.
I
I mean,
think this is what Michael Jackson was talking about when he wrote that song. I just want you to know. I think that was
that was
she was his inspiration.
I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt it
Tell us who we talked about.
because we've got. I mean, first of all, she's a graduate of the culinary school in Houston.
Yes.
She is known for her wonderful restaurant here in Dallas, Roots
Yes.
Southern Kitchen.
Yes.
But we also know her from Top Chef.
Oh yeah.
She's been judging all sorts of shows on Food Network.
Oh yeah.
Bobby Flay's Triple Threat, which we're going to have to get into.
We
have some
got to
questions
talk about that. Got to.
Cutthroat
talk about that.
Kitchen. She's been on TOC,
Yeah.
which that's my favorite food show.
I already
in
know. Yeah,
America.
that's your favorite.
Master
show.
Chef, and the one I'm really curious about too is the Great American Recipe
Yeah.
because that's really cool on PBS.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's
yeah.
really cool. So if you guys don't know who we're talking about right now, we are honored to have the chef, the owner, the goddess,
Mogul in the making.
mogul in the making.
Because I think she's got.
'Cause it's
I
not
think
just
It's
restaurant.
not just gonna be.
You got a
She-
TV
she-
career.
she
We got the restaurant
media
entrepreneur
situation, you
thing
know what I'm
going.
saying?
Okay.
So we want to welcome our guest, Miss Tiffany Derry.
What's going on, Chef?
Hey.
Thank you so much for doing this and being
Absolutely.
on the show with us. We're super happy to have you.
I don't know if, in all seriousness, we
Yeah.
are truly big fans.
We
Like,
really are.
not just from the restaurant, from the TV stuff, just seeing that what you're doing to elevate Southern food
Yeah.
to this higher level thing.
Yeah.
I lived in the Northeast. I've been in some of those places. And what you got going on at Roots Kitchen is blowing away most
Thank
of the places
you.
that people have heard about. So thank you for everything that you do.
No, thank y'all. What a hype team. I mean,
Yeah,
can y'all just
yeah.
come with me?
Would you just let us know? I mean,
You know?
we'll bring the whole crew and go ahead, shut it
'Cause, you know,
down.
if we need a DJ. He's not just a producer; he's also a DJ.
Okay.
So we can do
I
the
wear
whole
many
thing.
hats.
He does. That's a bad man.
We can do many things.
Okay, so listen, we, seen a lot of interviews, a lot of articles, and, talk about that, your grandma, mom were all inspirations for cooking, right? But there had to be like a moment when you were a kid and you like, what? Were you eating something?
Was there a meal that
Was it
really
like,
said, I got to
you know
do
what?
this?
Yeah.
So it's funny because growing up, I played sports.
Okay.
I played volleyball, basketball, soccer, track, golf, and tennis.
Okay.
And before even sports, I did a lot of acting.
Oh, wow.
So
I
I
Okay,
grew
wait a
up.
minute. What?
I know it's so ridiculous, and they're so opposite. So backstory: my dad is a pastor,
Okay.
and I grew up in my grandfather's church, who was also a pastor at the time.
Gotcha.
So I got really used to being called upon in the moment. You know,
Right.
Tiffany, can you come lead us out in prayer?
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
like in the
wow.
moment I'm playing around doing
That
something.
totally makes sense.
That wasn't just you. That happened to us. I just
So
okay.
going from that,
Uh-huh.
then going into, you know, just the world of playing sports competition, all of that teamwork, blah, blah, blah. Then at 15, I decided that I wanted to cook. No clue where it came from. My family's large, so my grandmother had 11 children. Everyone
Oh, wow.
eats. Everyone cooks. Like, there's not one person within my uncles and aunts that does not cook.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So everyone had to learn to cook. So I didn't really think of it as a career or anything special growing up.
Okay.
So it was just what you did. You always had food. You came home from school. We go to our grandma's house. Everybody there. We all eat. You know, that's just that
And whoever's
was it.
turn to help helps. That's
Yes.
it. Okay. Okay.
But when there was a local IHOP getting ready to be built,
I read this.
very close to where I lived, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ask to be a cook. So I go in, and I asked them to be a cook. I fill out all the paperwork, and it said no women were allowed in their kitchen. And I was like, what? Okay, well, what do you have? And they were like, you could be a server. So I started as a server at IHOP.
Okay.
Then after like a month, someone called in, and I would always ask questions. I'd be in the kitchen. I was learning already. And so when they called in, I ended up going into the kitchen and running Expo. And we all know Expo is a position that you just got to bark it out,
Say.
you know.
Yes,
keep
ma'am.
everybody,
And you better know what you're talking about.
You
Yes,
sure
ma'am.
better be real
Yeah.
comfortable when you call those tickets, because nobody want to make nothing twice.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I got cussed out of several times calling out the wrong stuff. My bad, chef. My
Loud
bad.
and wrong.
yeah,
Loud
yeah.
and wrong. No, you know, so that was the first. So that was really my start into cooking. Granted, I grew up around great food. I didn't appreciate how great it was until later when I realized everybody didn't eat like that. I didn't know. I thought everybody ate like this.
Right.
I mean, I should have known when everybody was at our house, but like I just didn't know.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was how I started.
That is so fun. Okay, so this is so funny. Like, you know, we've been in the restaurant business all of our lives.
Right.
Like, I mean, so our dad opened the restaurant in '76. So that's, you know, we're at what's this? It's 47 years this year.
47 years.
47 years this year, right?
Wow.
So, but what you're saying is so funny because everybody would come to our house and be like, "Ooh, man, oh, this is good."
And we're like,
this
This
is
is
you
what
know.
we do. That's normal.
However,
We went
when
to
we
some
would go to
friends'
their
house.
houses and be like, "Oh, that's what your mama cooking."
But I didn't go to other, so like we couldn't we couldn't go to nobody's house.
Right,
Like
right.
if you was only at your family house, so like I think I was in maybe 5th grade, the first time I ever spent a night at someone's house. It might have been the last one.
Okay. Okay. Oh, wow.
I didn't even get in trouble. Like I don't even know what that's about. My mom was just like, "Nah, you ain't going over
we're
there."
not
But
doing
they
that
can come
anymore.
over here, but you're not going over there.
Oh, wow.
But they serve sloppy joes.
Oh, wow.
I had never had sloppy joes before.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
Okay.
Oh my God.
You know what? I ain't had a sloppy joe in
No.
15 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I think I need a sloppy joe.
Yeah,
Wow.
Where
It
do you
was
get a
so
sloppy
good.
I
joe?
don't even know where you get a sloppy
I think
Joe
you gotta
anymore.
make that
You
at
gotta make
home.
it yourself, huh?
Yeah.
What is that sauce? I don't want
No,
to
no,
get.
no, no, no,
I don't
no.
want to get into that. So cooking and so then doing an expo, right? So when did you get to start getting on the griddle?
I was like in that moment.
Oh,
That's
in
when
that
I
moment.
started the kitchen.
It was
Like-
everything.
like,
Okay.
Yeah,
Got
that
it.
one night started Expo. Then
Okay.
I learned every part of the kitchen.
Okay.
And then at 16, I started managing.
16.
I did.
Oh
I
wow.
don't even know how they let people do that. Because, like, now I would never let a
No.
16-year-old
16.
manage.
No.
But, I mean, maybe they're a really special 16, possibly. I don't know. I mean, I was just hungry. So
Right.
I I could work every station. At that moment, I worked graveyard at 17. So I started. My parents let me work. On the weekends, I could work graveyard shift.
Oh, wow.
And graveyard is 8 at night till 6 in the morning.
Oh yeah, that's I can't do it. No, I can work real late. I just can't go in late and stay overnight. I can't do
It's a
that.
different kind of person. I feel like to take that.
You know what I'm saying?
And the people that come in a restaurant are different kind of people too.
You know that's
It's a
true.
whole
That's a different crew.
It's a whole different crew.
They don't even know what they ordered.
They don't even. Let me get 2 of them. Okay.
What was that again?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Bring him
Just 2,
something.
yeah.
Bring him 2 of them.
So what made you go? Okay, you know what? I want to go to culinary school.
I loved what I was doing.
Okay.
I mean, as I think about IHOP in that moment, I absolutely loved the craziness of it, the newness of it. The people I work with, the people I work with didn't even speak English.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I loved it. Still.
Absolutely.
It really was the foundation of like hard cooking that I didn't know everyone else wasn't doing it like that. Right. Like I go into some restaurants, I'm like, y'all got it easy. You know, I feel like everybody nowadays, we say that to the young people.
Sure, absolutely.
But it's true.
It is though. It is. Yeah.
My guys don't even have to clean. We have a team come in and clean.
There you go.
See? Oh wow.
They do have it easy.
Guys, if y'all are listening, all of them,
When we grow
all
up,
of those at Smokey John's Barbecue, don't worry about this part. You guys just keep doing. You guys doing a great job.
that's not an option.
Stay strong.
Stay strong. Keep your tip money.
Keep your money up. So then you graduate. I mean,
So I got a
culinary
question
school.
before you go there.
Okay, good. Handle your business.
How is that received? Because you've got this family of cooks that kind of, I won't say take it for granted, but that's who y'all are.
Yeah.
Sure.
So what does it mean when you're from that group and you decide to go to culinary school? Is that like, child, you're not a cook? What are you trying to?
See, that's why
Grandma taught you.
That's why you're here, because you got good stuff.
Yeah. So my grandmother, who I love dearly,
Of course.
she says, this is just a fact. She says, why you want to be enslaved in somebody's kitchen in the back?
Wait a minute.
And I said, it's not like that, because at this era, this is like the moments where I'm seeing like the Emerald Lagasse and
Absolutely.
the Paul Prudhommes and like it's a different world than what for her, she just only knew of that because she worked to take care of our family, working in kitchens most of the time. And so for her, it wasn't something that she would want for me.
Right.
And so, eventually she told me, when I opened up my very first restaurant here in Dallas, I said, I wanted her to come, and I had my mom and I had her, and I closed the whole restaurant and I just cooked for them.
Oh, wow.
And she was like, my baby.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
So yeah, it was a very special moment.
Awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, to be able to just have her be living for you to experience that. For her to experience that too, but for you to be able to lay that red carpet out for them. Like that, I know that had to be special just for yourself.
Yeah, it was so great.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Our grandparents passed away early, so it's like, that's some of those things
one
that
of the
you
things we
wish.
never get to.
Yeah. Because a lot of the stuff, again, it's, some things that the recipes that we still use at the restaurant are her recipes, but she never got to see kind of how we did it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I envy that experience. That's absolutely.
Pretty great.
That's
That's
crazy.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very cool. So now you go to culinary school, you graduate. I know you've traveled, you studied culinary, and you went to different parts of the world. What's your style? Is it because obviously we brand you as the Southern chef?
Quick break, please.
yeah, right.
We brand you as the Southern chef.
Yeah, but if you watch,
But
if you're
I've
watching,
seen you on
I'm
TV.
telling you,
You're not just the Southern chef.
No.
So that is like, okay, so when I was coming up, I went to culinary school, and one of the first trips that I took was to France. And it was through the school. They were taking these trips, and you can pay. My whole family, all my friends, they all get together, and they pay for me to go because we didn't have the money for me to go.
Yeah.
And so at the time, I really thought that I wanted to go to France and work in France and stay there.
Oh, wow.
I got there. I thought it was lovely. It opened my eyes to many things, but I just realized that I feel like I could do this in the States. Like I can find somewhere to cook and work and blah, blah, blah. So did that. But what it sparked was my love for travel. So I made a vow to myself when I was 19 years old, and I said that I would get out of country once a year in the sake of culinary. Not just vacation, but the sake of culinary. And I've kept that up since then.
That's awesome.
So because of that, it has been a little difficult in my early years to figure out who I am as a chef and what type of food I represent, because I have spent time all over, from China, Japan, Thailand, all the Caribbeans. Like, honestly, I've been everywhere. Italy. I mean, I've been to France. Like, I've been to Thailand 6 times.
Oh, wow.
I've been to...
Wow.
And these are culinary trips. These
Correct.
are not...
Correct.
You're not going just floating down the river, shopping in the markets.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, and there are times where I enjoy some parts of it, but when I was a little younger, it was really more all. But I still take one trip that is my culinary trip. I'm going to get away. And for the last few years, I take January off.
Okay.
And I go somewhere. Last year, we went to Albania.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know, right? Albania.
But
it started that one, and so now I piggyback trick. So that's what I do. So like I work for the U.S. Embassy, right? So I do a lot of food and culture and talk about culinary cuisine, and I talk about Southern specifically a lot. And you find that Southern cuisine has so much in common with so many other different types of cuisine, because we really are a melting pot, right?
Absolutely.
And so because we went to Albania, then we went to Sicily after that. So I spent some time there. But I am very much, I'm going. I don't care how long that changes nowadays based on schedules, but I'm going somewhere every time.
Oh, man.
Is there some place you're looking forward to? Is there something like... It's like, you have like those 3 or 4 places. I don't like to say bucket list, because that's to me that's a morbid concept. But the idea,
I know what you mean.
The idea of are there a handful of spots at some point I've got to get there because I'm just curious, or I want to know more about that cuisine.
The whole world. I want to see the whole world.
That's good.
I do. Yeah. I want to. Yeah. And I haven't been to Africa yet.
Okay.
And I've kept that like purposely. When I go, I want to connect in a very different kind of way.
Sure.
I don't want it to be just a food trip. I want to experience every part of it, and whatever those emotions bring up, I want to feel it. I want to be in the moment. And I also want to understand a little bit more of our history, because I've done a couple things where it basically is like your family's from Louisiana and y'all came from Africa somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know more.
Sure.
And when I take that trip, I would like to be very aware of where I'm at and, connect in some kind of way.
That's awesome.
That's the trip, hopefully next year.
Okay.
So, yeah, and you just brought so many things. I mean, I don't even want to go into this if we start talking about High on the Hog and just like the connection between Southern cuisine as we know it, and then African cuisine.
Really, you can really say soul food is really,
soul food, really.
And that High on the Hog got into what we call soul food.
But it's like,
showed us where a lot of it came from.
I literally cried through like probably the first episode, because I just didn't realize how much heart and like why we use like even our rub is completely different than most barbecue rubs. It really connects, and so we have a lot of people that connect. That are from Jamaica, from South America, because of all the different flavors in it. It's like, man, these flavors are like making people like feel connected, especially doing the samplings. It's like, oh man, this reminds me of when we used to.
I'm from Kansas City. I'm from Memphis.
And
wait a minute, y'all are from 2 different places.
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute,
vibing on it. So it's kind of cool.
But it's crazy to see where like the emotions and the real story behind ingredients.
Sure.
Like that's a whole, we could talk about that about 2 hours.
Yeah, or you could go watch High on the Hog.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Great
show.
It's so well put together.
Yeah.
Not only you get the history, but you also get, it's like just beautiful.
Yes.
Oh, it is.
Beautifully done.
Beautiful.
And it was really good. I'm hoping that they're getting ready to come out with the second one. I know they were working on some stuff, so that will be great to see.
Definitely hoping for it. Definitely hoping they're doing it. So in saying that, then what was the aha moment of like, okay, I've got, because you're good at everything. Like it's like I can imagine. I'm watching, because even when I see you on different shows, it's like you put a little flair and a little twist of these different regions and different styles in your cuisine. So,
Right.
but there has to be like this moment that you have to go like, okay, like, but this is me. Like, what was your this is me?
I don't know if it happened that way.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I'm rooted in family, and I'm
Right.
rooted in the foods that I grew up eating, which is very much soul food. Like,
Right.
that's how I grew up, soul food. I'm not talking about country cooking. I'm not I'm not talking about none of that, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I love that. But I'm also a French classically trained chef.
Right.
Wow.
Then you take this person who's traveled the world.
Right.
Most people really don't know how much I travel. I go out of country maybe 6 times a year.
Wow.
Like, I mean, like I travel a lot.
Right.
And so when I was younger and someone would say, you know, what do you cook? I would say, I cook this food. I do this. You know, I started off in Italian restaurants for 6 years. I worked for that. And then I worked in seafood restaurants, and I just had a lot of different. So it was hard to explain really who and what I want to do.
Wow.
Right.
One thing that I didn't want to be was labeled as more of a black soul food chef.
Right.
Yes.
And because
Yes.
of the negative information that I heard growing up about it and going into culinary school, if you black, do you cook soul food? You know, can I get a
Yeah.
plate?
Yeah.
And like all of this stuff. And I worked so hard to go away from that,
Right.
you know, by studying and learning all these different things. And it's funny, after doing all of those things, the one thing I wanted was the soul food.
That's
right.
It was the foods that I grew up with that I felt like wasn't getting the recognition that I believe it should get.
Right.
Why is Italian food condemned? Like, why is that better
Yeah.
than the foods I grew up with?
Right.
Like, who says?
Yeah.
Who determines
That's
that?
right.
you
They
know?
just traveled the best. I mean,
Right.
seriously, you
Right.
can go anywhere in the world,
Yeah.
and you're gonna always be able to find some kind of Asian cuisine and Italian. Am
Right.
I wrong?
No, you
Yeah.
always
I mean,
will.
You always will wherever they've traveled the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Wow.
I can't answer it, but I've been a lot of places, and there's always an Italian place, and there's always some sort of Asian. It's usually some kind of Chinese, but
Sure.
it's some sort of Asian restaurant all over the world. You may not find American, you may not find French, you may not. Well, English people, I don't really know what English cuisine is.
I don't think you.
I mean,
That is
fish
not
and chips.
so much.
I don't
It's
know.
a couple.
Sorry.
A couple of things, but it's not really a lot.
Not
It's a lot
knocking
of.
on our UK.
No, we
brothers.
love the UK. We
I
love
love
our
the
UK.
UK.
We love them. We love them. It's a lot of rain, not a lot of cuisine. That's
We
all
don't-
right. It's some decent stuff, but let's keep going. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah. So
totally agree.
why is that? Have you found that as to be true as well?
Well, I mean, part of it, you know, and I remember even doing Top Chef, I was cooking and they felt like one of the guys says that's the food that you make at home. Like, that's not the food you should cook for fine dining or as a restaurant. And honestly, it's perception.
Absolutely.
It's the things of what people deem to be, you know, of high-end food, of any of those things. And so I've always wanted a Roots Southern table. I wanted a Roots Southern table like 9 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So I'd already been working on the plan. I've already been working on the vision. Finances, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
But it was something that wasn't some rushed thing. And truth be told, it's a little bit different than what I wanted back then.
It evolved, but you evolved. I mean,
Correct.
yeah.
Correct. And so what you get is the global inspirations of the South. And so when I started researching, and being that my family's from Louisiana, we're from Baton Rouge and Port Allen,
Okay.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
And so when you think about really Louisiana as a whole, New Orleans, all of that, you think about all of the influences of that region. You had the French, obviously. You had the Cajuns that were the Creoles, right? And then you had the Vietnamese, one of the largest, second largest in the country was in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you had so much of like that shrimp business. They controlled the shrimp business. And so you have a lot of great seafood. You had the Germans, which brought the sausage, which is how a lot of the andouille and all of those things ended up coming about, right? You had the Spain. So you had this combination of jollof rice from Africa. Then you had what the Spanish was doing as paella, and then in Louisiana you had jambalaya. So the influences, like, we all really flow so well together because so many people were settled or brought to that area that learned to adapt. And so when you try to put Southern cuisine in a box, it just doesn't fit.
Right.
And so the stories haven't been told enough to show how diverse we are in our cooking.
Yeah.
We're not a one pot kind of, that's it.
Yep.
We're not just this and fried fish and fried chicken, though we may enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not our full story.
Absolutely.
You know, my family had farms and we ate off the farm.
Mm-hmm.
And our great grandparents lasted long on this earth. And you can't say it's because of just the diet.
No.
There are many different reasons,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
And so I just, for me, I want to make sure no matter what I'm cooking, it's still Southern to me. Because one, is what we do. And so that's why it was a little difficult in my early years to figure out.
Right. How to describe, because what happens is, and correct me if I'm wrong, when you're describing the Southern that you represent, that doesn't fit what the average person thinks of as Southern. They're stuck on fried catfish, chicken. Yeah,
right.
Not on influences.
Correct.
Because, people don't realize Vietnamese cooking is also influenced heavily by the French.
Oh, yeah.
So what happens is, it makes sense that
they
all
conquered
comes
those
together.
areas.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
so absolutely, yeah.
Right.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Because I spent a little time in France, and I was shocked at how much they use all the animal, like the pig. And I mean, and over here, we're like, oh, I don't eat chitlins, I don't eat this, I don't eat that. Yet, you go and have some French cuisine, and it's all of a sudden, it's
It's a
acceptable.
specialty.
Right. But is that true?
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah.
It's a specialty.
It's some kind of delectable
Right,
delight. And
right.
for us, it's like, oh, it's the trash.
Right.
And it's like basically Southern African Americans were doing a lot of using the same ingredients as far as the produce and the proteins
offals, yes.
and the offals,
Right,
exactly,
right.
that they use in a high elevated level in France. Is that
Correct. I mean, why is it high elevated when they do it, and when we do it, it's low brow?
exactly? Exactly.
It's who's cooking makes the difference.
well, it's-
It's who deems
Who's-
what it is.
who deems,
Yes.
yeah. Who
It's
deems?
who's deeming it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. See? Y'all make this need a part 2, right? God, no, we ain't Dr. Dave. What Dr. Dave?
We need to work on scheduling now.
Good Lord. This okay.
Well, we gotta get
I'm
her when
sorry.
she's in the
Come on,
country.
I know, no kidding. Yeah.
So, okay, so now we got the idea.
I'll bring my ice too. Don't even worry about it.
We'll have our own
No,
ice.
all right, don't worry about it. Go
don't
ahead.
sleep on that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So now I've got there's two parts of this, but
Yeah.
one is I read somewhere that you, as a young person, I don't know if it was when you were that 15-year-old or whatever, you wanted your own cooking show.
Yeah.
So is that something that you actively have pursued? Obviously, you've pursued it now, but getting into being a chef and traveling and doing the things you're doing, did you pursue TV or did TV pursue you?
TV pursued me.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I
think I read
cooking.
that, but I wasn't sure.
I was cooking. At the time, we had a restaurant. It was called Go Fish at the time. And I was cooking on the line. And my maitre d' came up to me and said, "You have a phone call." And I was like, "Okay, well, tell them I'll call them back. Like, I don't take calls in the middle of
I'm working,
dinner shift, or
Right.
lunch, whatever." And so she's like, "No, I think you should take it." And I was like, "No, just tell them." She's like, "It's Top Chef." I'm like,
Oh.
"Okay, Top Chef calling me. Come on, no, seriously." She's like, "No, it's Top Chef." I'm like, "Girl, stop." Somebody's like, "This is a joke, right?"
Yeah.
Right.
And so she's like, "I just think you should take it." So I answer the phone with an attitude because I really think this is a prank.
Right.
I'm like, "Hello," and they're like, "This is Magical Elves, production company of Top Chef." I'm like,
Wow.
"Hello?"
I'm sorry. Girl, give me that
Let me
phone.
get this in my throat real quick.
Hello. Excuse me.
And so,
Wow.
yeah,
That was my
it.
assistant. She was playing.
So yeah, that was it. And from there, they were like, "Hey, can we get some conversations with you? We'll be in Dallas. We're doing casting." And I was like, I don't really want to do drama. Like when I saw myself doing TV, I didn't see myself doing competition. So you got to be careful. When you ask
Amen.
for stuff
Amen.
and how
Yep.
they come,
Yep.
it ain't so determined by you at all.
Right.
So I had to be obviously open
Right.
to get that. And from there, it just started happening more and more. Top Chef, and then obviously Top Chef All-Stars, and
Yep.
then Bar Rescue, which was like my different one than all the other shows.
So the lady that brought you in,
Yeah, she's a big fan.
She's a huge fan for Bar
Oh
Rescue.
my God.
She was like,
Chef
"Are you
Tiffany?
kidding? Are you kidding?"
Same.
The
I was-
bar rescue.
She was like, "She's from Bar Rescue." I'm
Yeah.
like,
20 years I've been doing bar rescue.
I'm like, she's been doing a lot more than Bar Rescue, but she.
I
that's
know,
how
it's
she-
weird
but
when
that's-
somebody.
But
when
the
they're
Bar
like,
Rescue
our-
people are faithful.
Yeah.
Oh, aren't
Hey,
they?
they
I
are
love
serious.
y'all.
faithful.
Yes.
Hey, that's like that. What's that other Storage Wars?
Oh yeah,
They
those
got-
people, those people are serious.
They serious about that
I feel
Storage
like
Wars.
also like the wrestling. Like I feel like if you really like wrestling,
Right.
then you really probably love Bar Rescue as well.
He's a huge
knew-
wrestling fan.
knew
see,
that
Dr.
this was
Dave?
a good idea from the jump.
You just touched him in the heart twice.
I just made a new friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh wow! But yeah, she so that's so Bar Rescue was a so now you've told us already that you were used to being pulled up to the stage,
Oh,
the
yeah.
pulpit, whatever. So
Oh, yeah.
once you start it, that's why you're so natural and it works, and then they love you because you're great. So the question I have now
You're very
is,
real. No,
No,
that's the
no,
beauty
you
of
are,
it. No, that's the
because
beauty of it.
it's-
Yeah, because
Thank you.
listen,
No.
I've met a lot of folks, Chef. Let me tell you, I've met a lot of folks, Chef,
yeah,
and I'm just saying, you're real.
you're real. Real.
Like,
No, it's true.
Yeah, yeah.
So the question then becomes, so you've done all the shows, you've judged,
Yeah.
you've competed, you're still competing. Do you still want your own cooking show?
I want something.
Okay.
What I thought I wanted before, maybe not so much. Originally, I really felt it would be like a sort of stand and stir kind of show,
Yeah.
right? And then I would love a live audience. I thought that would be cool. But again, I was from the Emerald,
Yeah,
like that was.
I mean,
that was
bam,
it. Yeah,
whoa.
audience going wild, like all of that.
Same
It was
way.
great.
But you
I'm
get
with
that on
you.
TOC.
You do.
Yeah.
Just have to work real
My
hard
God.
for
Yeah.
it.
Look, girl, look, I don't even listen. We've
I
done
can spend
some
a-
competitions, we've done like the guys' grocery games and all that stuff. When doing TOC, I think to myself, I don't think I want to cook anymore. I don't think I cook.
No.
I don't think what we do is cooking. I think they came from another planet
I completely.
and they're magicians.
I mean, it's
It's wizardry.
to me, it's the same way I feel about
Chef
sports.
Tiffany is a wizard.
No, for sure.
I'm
It's
sorry.
the same way you think about sports.
Yeah.
Like we both played sports growing
Yeah.
up. And we had our successes at certain levels.
Right.
And then there's a point where you're not as good enough to keep going.
No.
I feel like that's what we're watching. When I watch
Right.
not Top Chef, I like Top Chef, but when TOC to me
Yeah,
is like watching the All-Star game.
it is.
But like where it really matters.
Like for real, for real.
It's like where it counts.
Yeah.
It's like it's the league of cooking. It's going for the championship. Because to me, it's like watching NBA finals or NFL playoffs or something like that. Because it's like everybody's really good.
Right.
There's
And I
no
think
the
because
worst
there's
person
no
is
second
amazing.
chance.
Yeah,
Like
ain't
you
no-
lose, you're done.
That's
Yeah,
it.
no.
So
It's
that
like the
right
tournament.
there,
I mean,
yeah.
I love how they do it in the spring because I discovered it on spring break. We're on spring break and we got in from something and I'm maybe skiing or something and we flipped the TV on and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
what's this?
yeah.
I'm like, oh. And then it's like now my DVR is set. I don't have to remember when it's going to start because I'm taping.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a huge fan.
That's
huge
awesome.
fan.
Yeah, no, it's
And my household is cheering for you.
no,
Thank you.
100%.
We're
100%.
cheering for you.
And listen, so I mean, and it takes nerves of steel, and I don't think people really understand, and they don't really like until you like have been in that, like in those studios, and there are 19 cameras from everywhere, and it takes like for us, it takes about like 10 minutes to kind of
Calm your nerves.
calm your nerves to just even get ready, but. You talking about y'all doing these daggum randomized. I can't even.
I don't even know all the words
I don't
on the
even-
randomizer.
They roll
I've got a
stuff, and I'm
pretty
like,
solid
what is
vocabulary.
that?
I'm like, I don't.
I
I'm
said,
over here Googling,
guys
what-
making up stuff.
No,
What is
sometimes we
this?
don't know either.
Are you
Equipment-
serious?
No, equipment, he's like, Guy is on a whole nother level with it. He has
Yeah.
every equipment you can imagine
Yeah.
on this planet. And I was like, one of my other ones, like, campfire, what? Like,
Yeah.
what is it? And so I just looked at it, and that's why I didn't use it for what it was, because
Yeah.
I didn't know what the heck you do with that
The
guy.
campfire iron. The campfire iron. Yeah.
Like, wait. Oh, it's basically a cast iron.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's just
cool.
a cast iron, but I didn't know what it was. I
There
was
we
like,
go.
Look.
how do you use that?
Yeah.
So you come out of that, like just the television and those experiences, and then just the opportunity to open up roots. So you're in this business, but people don't understand. it's different from owning your business and running your business to being an employee in your business. Folks think, like Juan says, like everybody thinks that restaurant business is sexy and it's, they don't understand.
That's cute.
See, what made you decide? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead. I need to get out this. I need to get this business out of me and create roots. Like what made you decide to do that? Like what pushed you? I know you said you had been planning together.
The business, because it's we understand. I always tell people, like, oh, she's a great cook. She can open a restaurant. No.
Great cook's great. That's
great
wonderful.
Cook, you can work in a restaurant if that's your choice.
Sure,
Right.
and make probably more money.
100%.
Owning
100%.
a restaurant is a whole different animal.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
So you're both.
Yeah.
You're the chef and the entrepreneur.
Right.
How does that work for you?
Yeah, so when I went to culinary school, they asked me what I wanted to do in the restaurant. I said I wanted to open my own restaurant. I was the only one in the class that said that.
Really?
Only one. Everybody else had all these other pipe dreams.
Mhm.
When I was 17 years old, when I was working at IHOP, I said I want 3 of these. I don't know why 3, but 3 sounded good to me. I was like, 3 of them is like, that's living right there.
Right.
So I've always wanted to have my own. For me, I always felt like having your own meant that you controlled everything. And then I was put in a situation that I put myself in with another restaurant that I had where I had partners. And, I quickly understood there is a difference between just owning the restaurant and owning the restaurant in equity. So the person that a lot of times has the highest amount of equity in the restaurant
Owns the restaurant.
owns the restaurant.
Yes, ma'am.
Not them 5 and 10%
Nope.
people.
Nope. Yes, ma'am.
And not the one that's in there
No.
at 7 o'clock in the morning
No.
and 12 o'clock at night.
At all. No, not that person either. And so I wanted a place where I truly was able to contribute what I feel that I bring to the table. And I also wanted to be able to make all the decisions. Not the decisions when things are going good, but also when the dips come.
Right. How are we going to survive
How
this?
we're going to do this.
What are we doing at the pandemic?
So it was so important for me to, one, find the right partner or have no partner. I found the right partner. His name is Tom Foley. He is like my rock. We do this together. From Roots Chicken Shacks to Roots Southern Table to Chef Seasonings. Like, we do it all. He's an attorney, so we focus on different things. He's also works on our front of the house. So he manages our programs. I manage back of the house, restaurant, PR, all the other stuff outside of. But it has been a very fruitful relationship, and I didn't understand when I was younger that I needed that. Right,
Sure.
like I didn't understand how important the partnership part was.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow, that's huge, and I'm sure, you probably learned so much from the 5-10% partnership.
Oh yeah.
That
Never do it again. Life lessons. Life lessons.
lessons,
Yeah.
and then taking that energy
Mm-hmm.
into your own, like I'm sure that really probably shaped everything too.
It did.
And even a sense of appreciation and gratitude.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, just to see that, and just it's interesting that we, so Juan was talking about you earlier on at Legacy, and he, yeah, and
The
then,
shack.
yeah. And so, and he was like, yeah, man, his chicken is, woo,
No,
man.
I'll be honest. You know how I found out about her?
How?
I was getting a haircut.
Oh, for real?
I'm getting the haircut. My barber is a chef as
That's
well.
right. Yep.
And he was like, "Have you tried out this place, man?" I was like, "What place?" And she goes, "I'm just saying, like," he says, "It's a black chick and she is killing the game."
Right.
I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Just fried chicken. It's fried in duck fat. You got to go check this out." And I'm like, "Okay, where is it?" And I'm thinking, I don't know where. And then he's like, Legacy. I'm like, Plano?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, for real? Some good fried chicken in Plano?
Wait a minute. So fast forward, I finally go with my family, and I'm the whole legacy concept is like a dream come true to me because you've got all these different cuisines.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of Asian food. And they've got like 4 different things because it's like they've got the bibimbap, they've got the Vietnamese, they've got some sushi,
yeah,
they've got it
yeah.
all. And so I'm like that. But then it's like, but I got to try this chicken because they told. So my son, he goes over and orders the chicken wings.
Yeah.
And I'm over here trying to eat all my stuff and taste his chicken wings. He's like, hey, Pop, what's up? It's like, slow down.
Back off my chicken, Pop.
And so I had to go get me some chicken as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the thing is, I was like, this is amazing and it's cool. And then, of course, I was happy. And that's when I started learning more about you. The next thing you know, oh, she's on Top Chef. She's on this. She's on that. And it was like, that's how our fandom, started. But that's wild. Like, and then when I heard you were opening the restaurant, I was like, and I don't live very far from there.
Yeah.
I was
nice.
like, I was
Oh,
real
no. We're
excited.
7 minutes away.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was
Oh.
super excited at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
And so that's why it was such a big deal for us to go for our anniversary. But then now the question is, and I don't know if this is true, but I heard there's another Roots coming.
There is.
All
There's
right.
many roots coming.
Tell
I
him,
mean,
Lord,
is
thank
there-
you.
is-
Come
is there-
on, Jesus.
Is there one in the works? Is that
There
is
is
that
one in DeSoto that we're
That's
working on.
what
Look
I
at
thought
God.
I heard.
Oh, it's on there.
Yes.
It's
Wow.
on. It's on.
Now what is that like? Because I mean, we're just be honest here. We
Yeah.
try to keep it real. I love where you are, and everybody. I see every ethnic group walking in there when I'm not going there. I'm going to next door, but I'm seeing everybody's there. But you're putting something in the southern sector.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we're talking same because your service is outstanding.
Yeah.
Thank
I mean, apart from the food, the experience is what it's everything you want.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you're a James Beard nominee because
Right.
it's what you want.
Right.
Can they look forward to that? Are we going that same level?
So in DeSoto will be our Roots Chicken Shack.
Oh,
And
okay.
It will
That's
be
what I was checking.
the first that we're doing that way.
Okay. Nice.
It will be a standalone. It's bigger. It's gonna offer things that Shack does not offer at this current moment.
Perfect.
Nice.
Okay.
More sides.
So, it's,
more
but it's
things.
more casual though.
It's super casual.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it is our fast casual concept.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, we have one in Plano, we have one in Austin, and then we're opening DeSoto, but we're also franchising. So right now,
Oh wow.
we're getting everything in order. And so very soon we will be able to do that very, very soon. So
Yeah.
I know,
Yes.
we're excited.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah. That was like the idea was never to have one.
Yes.
Building and how it's set up and every aspect of it was meant so that we can scale it. So
Yeah.
we're
Perfect.
excited.
That's awesome.
We're going through the same thing right now as we're trying to grow and
We haven't-
expand.
We
and-
haven't found that partner.
yeah. Yeah.
It's a little wow.
Yeah, no doubt. So that being said, one of the other things that we wanted to ask you is, being an African American woman, having the influence that I feel like you're having, especially on the culinary scene and now on the business scene, do you feel a certain weight or responsibility with that? Do you see young women looking to you even more so? And I've seen some of the comments, and people like you hype them up. So I'm being honest.
No, it's true.
And it's like I know some younger chefs in the area that are very just blown away. Do you feel that, and do you feel that any kind of weight with that? Just curious.
Of course.
Okay.
But I feel like I've always had weight.
Okay.
I always laugh. I tell them I got broad shoulders for a reason.
Hey.
Like I was made for this.
Yeah.
That's what I tell myself. That's how I hold myself accountable. I got a lot of people that I'm responsible for, and
Yeah.
that continues to grow.
Right.
And I understand that what I say and what I do reflects on my business.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm never going to put my business in a situation to where we're going to have some problems.
There you
Just
go.
not what you're going to see from me.
There you go. There you go.
And I also understand that in a culinary industry where men have been the prominent people in the industry,
Right.
that being a woman coming into it, it was different for me.
Mm-hmm.
But, I oftentimes don't harp on all the different things
Sure.
that happens in that moment, but there are women who are going through many things.
Sure.
And so by being an example, by being able to be visible,
Mhm.
it just shows a lot of people that it's possible. And I think there are some incredible women. And if you really think about it, if you just think about Tournament of Champions,
Mhm.
All the winners.
all winners have been women.
Absolutely.
And the finals were 2 minority women.
Yes.
Hello.
This year.
Hello.
I was like, what?
Incredible.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
And so I think that once more women are like feel like they can do it, they will do it.
Absolutely.
And I think it's just a great thing. So yes, I am rooting for all of
Yeah.
all my girls, all my ladies,
Yeah.
sisters, brothers. Like I just want us all to win.
Come on, let's
And
win
so-
then. Let's just win
just do
then.
it.
Oh, I love it. All right, so I know she's got a lot of things to do.
Got some countries to visit.
Got some countries to visit. That's what I'm talking
Go
about.
back to the kitchen and make sure everything's ready for the dinner.
Look here.
dinner run.
And she went to Paris, Fria, not Paris, Texas.
Yeah.
Not that.
Oh, you went to Paris. Should
went-
I tell that story?
No, let's keep going. Let's go ahead and go on to the 7 shots of smoke.
All right, so this is 7 shots of
Buddy.
smoke.
Okay.
So what we do is we're looking for your quick answer.
Rapid fire.
If you want to, you can always explain if you want. We're not holding you to that, but just what comes to mind first.
Okay.
All right. So we got 7 of them here. Number 1. What do you prefer? Preparing a great meal or eating a great meal?
Eating
Come on.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
All right, this one's easy.
Okay.
Pizza or tacos?
tacos.
Mm.
Netflix or Amazon Prime?
Mm.
Netflix.
All right. Would you rather watch basketball or football?
Basketball.
All right,
Ooh, all right.
then. Okay. This your season then right now. This your season.
Are you a Rockets fan or this is not one of your 7 questions?
Uh-oh.
Rockets or
Uh-oh.
Mavericks?
Mm.
You can say the truth. We're not-
Spurs.
Oh, no. Oh, my.
Did you ever
One.
live in San Antonio?
One.
She don't even live in San Antonio.
Oh, she's so sweet.
This has
And I
been
just-
so
Love
good.
you, Mavericks.
I don't know
Thank
how
you
we
for
lost-
all the support and love out
I
there.
hate that we lost the recording of this episode. It never gets aired.
Wow.
All right, that's my fault for going off the rails.
All right.
All
Sorry.
right,
I'm sorry.
we're bringing
All
us back. We're
It's
bringing us back.
you-
I've got 3 more left.
It's all right. We still love her.
All right, here's
We like Bruce Bowen.
Yeah.
He's been a
We
blessing.
love Bruce Bowen.
He's been a
Good.
blessing.
He works with
HEB.
Good. You like Bruce.
Yeah, we flexed on Bruce though because we're
Yeah.
like asking him about the time when the
No,
Mavericks beat him.
don't. Sorry, not
Oh,
we. Not
Lord.
we. You.
Oh Lord.
Oh,
I was
was
like,
it?
yeah,
Maybe
see,
that-
thank
Next question.
Thank you. What you
All
got?
right, would you rather have a great appetizer or a great dessert?
Appetizer.
All
Ooh,
right.
interesting. I thought dessert. This one's fun.
Mm.
I'm actually gonna do this one last. I'm gonna switch them up.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Better restaurant scene, L.A. or New York City?
New York City.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought too.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Would you rather be a James Beard winner or win TOC?
Ooh, that's a good ending. That's a good. You did a great job, sir. See?
I think I'm gonna go with James Beard winner.
Nice.
One particular reason
Okay.
is that the marketing that comes
Sure.
with James Beard winning is incredible.
Phenomenal.
Like it's enough to feel just being a finalist
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
is enough to fill the restaurant.
Wow.
That's what I
right
thought.
here.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you work it right,
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You have so many people coming into the restaurant. You
Just
just
because
gotta
that's-
be able to keep up,
Yeah.
or slow it down, and be able to give them the quality that they need.
Right.
Tournament of Champions is great. You're gonna get a season,
Mm-hmm.
but somebody else comes along, and you're not as important
Right.
anymore unless you show up again the following year to like prove yourself.
Right.
JBF, like you really that for life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, that's
There you
the
go.
real
it
deal.
came down to the money.
Mm. Ladies and gentlemen, we just want to let you know that it came down to the money.
It was close.
It was
But
close.
in the end,
But in the end,
money prevails.
tell the Lord, thank you. Lord, hey, look at this has been absolutely phenomenal.
I mean, we could literally
Chef,
do this
now
for
we
3
could do
hours.
this for we
Yeah.
we know you've got things to do, but we more than are appreciative of you taking the time to hang out with us as we are crazy and I'll tell you what, she's super delightful.
Man,
She's super delightful.
It's always cool when you meet people that you like and you're
Right.
fans of, and they're cooler than you even hoped they would be.
right.
And this is what happened today.
Aw,
That's awesome.
y'all.
Thank you so much, Chef.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, listen. Before we go, Juan's got to tell you one thing.
Well, one of the things we want to remind you is don't stop till you get enough.
However,
Should you find that you've had your fill, we highly recommend that you shut it down.
back up off of it.
Stop doing it.
Cut it out.
Don't do it anymore.
Let it breathe. Peace out, y'all.
Say goodnight to mama.
Good night, mama.
The proceeding has been brought to you by Smokey John's Barbecue Sauce and Barbecue Rub.
It's for your meat.
It's just how we hit the show.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
She's like, what is
That's
just,
just how we
that's
end
how
the
we
show.
end the show. Every show. Facebook Live, Instagram.
I don't even know what that means.
No one does. No one does. No
But
one
people
ever
love
does.
it. They're like, oh, he didn't say don't stop till you get enough.
That's
Y'all just say
hilarious.
goodnight to mama. That's what we hear. It's like, oh, good night, mama.